This week on the podcast, Teddy Hart is out of jail. At 64, Rip Rogers is as wild as ever. And my mom watched a little person dressed up in a neon ape costume get kicked off a wrestling ring. Enjoy the show!
This is the Art of Wrestling with professional wrestler Colt Cabana.
How you guys doing? Come on in, sit down, relax. You're about to listen to The Art of Wrestling, a professional wrestling podcast. It's a live podcast. It's a personal journal. It's an entryway into the minds and souls, the hearts and the lives of the people involved in the world of professional wrestling. I am your host. My name is Colt Cabana. I am a podcaster. I'm an actor. I'm a commentator. I am a trainer. Most importantly, though, I am a professional wrestler, and I am sitting here live in my studio apartment in Chicago, Illinois. Sorry to put an end to that ukulele, but those are the rules of the podcast. Before we go any further, it's a fan-supported and listener-supported podcast supported by people just like you. We give it to you free of charge every single Thursday. ColtCabana.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts from. A couple great ways that you can support. Rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, please. Those 5 stars make a difference in the algorithm, and it's super appreciated. How about telling a friend? How about Snapchatting it? How about Facebooking? Best way that you could support, though, ColtMerch.com, DigitalColt.com, t-shirts, buttons, pictures, posters, DVDs, digital downloads, my wrestling children's book, little action figures, little keychains, Wrestling Road Diaries, documentaries. It's all over there. It's a great way to support. I appreciate it. Thank you. ColtMerch.com, DigitalColt.com. Sadly, on the road, I can't flog my merch when I'm at Ring of Honor. Makes me sad, and that's the house rules, I guess. Can't bring Colt merch table, but I can bring my bubbly personality with myself and Ian Riccaboni. That's where I'm at this week. As this drops, I'll be in the middle of a Global Wars tour. 4 different shows, 4 different cities commentating for Ring of Honor. Or something else. You never know with me. I'm a wild man. I'm a journeyman. I'll do it all. This week was an easy one. Partnered up with WrestlePro and made it a WrestlePro weekend. I think that's always a fun thing to do. WrestlePro is not only a promotion, but it's also in conjunction with CreatePro, which is a wrestling training school in both New Jersey and New York. 2 different schools. They're running a franchise out there. And I know one of the guys at the seminar that I did said he found out about CreatePro through this podcast. So that might be you. You might be a person being like, why aren't I a wrestler? I should be a wrestler. Not hard to do. I mean, is hard to do, but not hard to say, why aren't I a wrestler? You got to make the next step. So many great schools out there. Ken Anderson in Minnesota, Jay Lethal in Tampa, Luke Hawks in Louisiana. You can train down there in New Orleans if you want to. And of course, WrestlePro/CreatePro, where I did a training seminar on Saturday. But on Friday, we were in Brooklyn wrestling professionally. Got to the building, and who did I see there first? Of course, the loudest man in the building, KM, Kevin Mathews from Impact Wrestling.
We're at WrestlePro, Brooklyn, New York. Bay Ridge, baby, Bay Ridge.
And you're calling the shots out here?
I'm calling the shot. I'm the shot call. I'm the matchmaker.
Okay, so what happened? So these guys all got here early. You're calling the shots. Kind of help me explain that.
Well, they got here early. They're all students. They're students of WrestlePro, so they're here setting up. They're here putting together the place, and it looks good. Look at how quick. They're like army ants, man. We started at 3:30, and what time is it now? It's like, what, an hour and a half later, and this whole setup is done, all right? That's pretty good, right?
And then what's on tap for the show tonight?
We got Colt Cabana wrestling Craig Steele, his biggest match ever.
My biggest match ever?
Your biggest. Oh, it's not Craig Steele's, man. Come on, who have you been? Where have you been? It's your biggest match ever, so are you nervous? Be honest.
Is Craig promoting this as his biggest match ever?
He actually wrestled Scott Steiner.
Damn.
Sorry, buddy.
I'm bigger than Scott Steiner in muscle mass.
Right now you are.
Yeah, my chest, I think. Did you see Scott Steiner on the TNA show?
I just wrestled Scott Steiner on the TNA show.
How'd it go? Also, it's not called TNA, it's called Impact.
Yeah, you just threw me off by calling it TNA. I wrestled. That's right. It's called Impact Wrestling. I just wrestled him. That's going to air in a couple of weeks, one-on-one, me and Scott Steiner. And just like, you're bigger than Scott Steiner. I actually felt good. I said it in the back to, I think, Scott Demora, where I was like, wow, did you ever think that I would say, or he said it to me, one of us said it to each other, where that I would be bigger than Scott Steiner. And I said, well, if you asked me, like, he said, if I asked you 15 years ago, I said, well, if you said, like, in 2018, if I would be bigger than Scott Steiner, I would say, I hope so.
I hope you're like 55.
I'm 35 and 55. I really hope so, or else I'm doing something wrong, but, yeah.
And any Steinerisms backstage? Did he do anything crazy or just cool, calm, and collective?
It was cool, calm, and collective. I mean, Fala was involved in my match earlier. I mean, all nonchalantly, he's like, "Who's gonna be out there for the match?" And I said, "Just the referee." He's like, "What about that fat ass?" And I said, "Fala?" Yeah, no, he's like, "All right." Yeah, and when Scott Steiner calls you a fat ass, it usually means he likes you. That's all. That's all I got.
And who walks in the door?
Your opponent. You nervous?
Fuck you, Steele. You're going down.
He said probably.
Yeah. Well.
Greg, we're wrestling tonight.
Yeah.
Tell me what you told me when I got here.
Well, my daughter told me, "Daddy, who are you wrestling tonight?" I said, "I'm wrestling Colt Boom Boom Cabana." She goes, "I hope he wins."
How old is she?
She's 4 years old.
And what's her favorite song?
Her favorite song is anything from Cardi B.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was my theme song.
That's not her favorite song.
Does she sing it?
She does. If the Wiggles sang your theme song, she'd be a little bit more inclined to sing it more often.
Maybe I'll come out to the Wiggles tonight and really win her over.
When you come out to some hot potato, and she will be popping for you.
Is she coming tonight?
She is.
Maybe we'll get her on the podcast.
If you get her on the podcast, she won't stop talking. Trust me.
Ooh, will we check in with her later? Won't we check in with her later? That's the mysteries of this podcast. As I was waiting to wrestle Craig Steele, you just kind of sit around and you wait and you see who shows up. You say your hellos. You talk to the students. You talk to the kids. You hope to inspire, or you run into Teddy Hart. Of course you run into Teddy Hart. And by you, I mean me.
Well, I live in Philly now, so little change. Probation is going very well. It's a lot of bookings. Happy to be working steady.
What does probation mean?
Well, I was facing that 10-year sentence for assault and I guess DUI, which was bullshit, but that's what happens in Texas. Texas law is pretty strict. I ended up getting probation on it after 7 months in jail, so I have a 3-year probation, and then once that's done, I can leave Philly. I'm stuck in Pennsylvania for the next 3 years.
And where are we right now?
We are in New York tonight, right? Brooklyn?
But aren't you supposed to say that you're not allowed to leave Philly?
Oh, no. I'm allowed to leave the country, but I'm not allowed to live somewhere else.
Gotcha.
I gotta stay in this area.
So you did 7 months in jail?
Yeah, I did 7.5 months in jail, and then a month and a half in the WWE rehab, which was basically them trying to help me out in case they needed something to say in court that I was trying to stay on track, or while I was on I guess I was on bail. So while I was on bail waiting for the trial, I was in the WWE rehab program. So.
What was jail like?
It was good and bad. I never had a fight, thank God, and I got to meet a lot of interesting people that had told me how they'd ruined their lives with drugs and stupidity, and everybody prayed a lot. So it restored my faith in God. It helped me think about if these guys are doing 10 years and 15 years and I'm doing 7 months, shit could be a lot worse. So
were you like, after that experience, are you like, I'm never going to jail again, or you're like...
No, I never want to go to jail again. It humbled the shit out of me, and I kind of got institutionalized because I was like, once you get out of jail, you don't have to do anything in jail. So you just sit there, everything's, food's there. I just would sleep in my bed and read books, and never read a book in my life really until I was in jail. So I worked on my reading skills and read a bunch of pointless books. And
now you're back wrestling.
Yeah, I think I'm one of the most booked indie guys in North America right now. I mean, my bookings have been, I had like 70 bookings or something like that. I almost wish I didn't have so many bookings now, because it's nice, but you don't realize the work it is until... I've never been a full-time wrestler. I usually wrestle maybe twice a month, right? They fly me in from Canada. But living down here, obligations are to make as many bookings as you can, and then doing social media a little bit more now. People can get a hold of me. I'm like almost as bad as Jack Evans, I think. Jack Evans finally got a cell phone for the first time in 9 years. So.
Thanks, man. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, I hope you bring me on your podcast again. I'd like to get on it.
Well, you're on right now.
Yeah, I bet a longer one where you can fucking harass me with some questions.
Well, this is the whole podcast has changed now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so this is not what it is? Just shorter little interviews?
Yeah, it's like my weekend escapades almost.
Oh, cool. Well, then I'm honored to be on your podcast. And Colt's a legend and one of the nicest guys in the business, and he makes me a better person, because there's guys that are in the business that watch and see your hard work, and I tried to change my lifestyle to be more like you guys, because you're professional, and that's the way you're supposed to be in this business, and humble, and make people happy and appreciate that we get to be wrestlers instead of carpenters or mechanics or a firefighter or a cop. Wrestling's a great job, and looking in the mirror every day, I hold my head up high, call myself an indie wrestler. So,
who else can we run into? A lot of different characters. If you've been listening to this podcast a long time, Pat's been on the show a couple of times, and I forget if it was a live one or a sit-down one, but we talked about you just got to throw these guys into different situations. And at the time, it was PWS. Now it's WrestlePro. But they've always been known to kind of like have these really fun gimmicks. They'll give people different gimmicks. They'll throw stuff to the wall, see if it sticks. And the next guy that I talked to is just the case. Whereas sometimes you're like, that won't get over, but here, just do this. And then slowly but surely, it becomes a part of the show.
I am the one, the only hot dog man from Hot Dog Land, weighing in at 1 metric bun. I am Hot Dog Starks.
What do you wear for an outfit?
I wear a hot dog suit. So just imagine a giant hot dog and my face popping out of the meat. And there's a giant mustard that pops off my chest. And I have relish on the sides.
Can you see Head into the Fed with this character?
Of course I can. Why not? Why wouldn't it?
I don't know. I'm just curious.
I think it would work. It would work well anywhere.
When you turn heel, are you going to be a brat?
Ooh, no. I'll probably be a taco.
A what?
A taco.
A taco.
Yes. Because tacos make me poop.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
Hot Dog Starks, I think, represents the fun of a wrestling school. So many different characters, so many different people come. And I think if you at home realize that, because I thought when I first went to wrestling school that everyone was going to be like a Division I football athlete like I was. And I was blown away that was not necessarily the case. It was characters. I mean, there were some good athletes. There were some good wrestlers there. But for the most part, it was just some randos from the street who heard about a school. I don't understand that because, I don't know, when I was in high school, I was so desperate to go to a wrestling school. And I was a little upset that people could just be like, oh, a wrestling school? I'll just go to that. But they do. And that's part of the fun and part of the community. And also part of being part of a world where everybody from every part of the world comes together like nowhere else. Did that make sense? It made sense in my mind. Coming from the suburbs of Chicago like I do, never did I think I would become friends with so many just different people from different parts of the world, and only professional wrestling can make that work for you. And speaking of myself in high school, obsessed with professional wrestling, one of those men was Joel Gertner, one of my, I think, heroes in ECW. I loved those introductions he did. And I did his podcast. I don't think it's up yet, but you could check it out. And as part of that, I requested an introduction that only Joel Gertner could give.
The godfather, the grand master of the art of wrestling podcastery, and I don't think that's hyperbole at all. Just so you know, if you're listening, this man was the first of us in the new generation, right? The generation where video games over everything else you could be doing after the show. Our generation living clean. He is the first of us to make a living out of not having a career. He told me once, if I could get to 10,000 followers, I would eat forever from this business, and I am almost there, but still get to look like I eat forever anyway. He is my guru, whether he knows it or not, whether he likes it or loves it. He is a member of the tribe, an asset to the fam. Notice me, senpai. This is Colt Cabana.
Oh my God, Joel. Everything about... See, I don't want to make you sound old because, as he shrugs, but I mean, you know, I was an ECW guy, 15, 16, 17 years old. That's all I ever asked for in my life, and you just gave it to me.
And I think Joel Gertner is the perfect segue to the sponsor, Backblade 2.0. I only say this because you remember his coats that were super furry and had all the hair on it? Like, that's the image I'm thinking to tell you about the easiest do-it-yourself back and body shaver, period. Also, Marty DeRosa just told me yesterday he's been backblading for years. Then I yelled at him for not using my promo code. It's the giant handle that allows you to shave those hard-to-reach places. Listen, I'm 38 years old now. I'm getting hair in my upper back and neck. This wasn't supposed to happen to me, but it is. Also, I've been in wrestling locker rooms for almost 20 years. I've seen all types of hairy backs. Hell, Miguel Perez picked me up from the airport on my first tour of Puerto Rico. He was the Boricua guy with the hairy everything. Oh man, if only Backblade was a sponsor back then, I could have told him. I would have had the answers to his prayers. 2 of their unique Dry Glide patent safety blades creates the smoothest shave in just minutes and can be used both wet or dry. Maybe this is you. Maybe you're the hairy one. Maybe your partner's the hairy one in wrestling or in life. Well, if you're tired of shaving your man's back for him, this might be the best Father's Day gift possible, or any kind of gift. Get your Backblade today at backblade.com. Use my code SHAVE30. Save 30% off a start bundle. That's BAKblade.com. Use the promo code SHAVE30 because at Backblade, they've got your back. Oh, Craig Steele, the man I wrestled. We're supposed to check in with your daughter now, aren't we? You're not talking to a microphone?
No.
Who are you cheering for today?
Who?
Can you say my name?
Mac, you gotta step up. Let's go.
Let's go. You want to be on this show or what? Getting on the podcast or what? Woo! Hey.
What's up?
She wouldn't talk to me.
She clammed up.
Why?
I think you intimidate her, possibly.
You said I was her favorite.
She always says that you're her favorite.
But now I went to go ask her if she was happy that I wrestled you.
Last year at WrestleCon, when it was dead silence, she's the one that started a Boom Boom Colt Cabana chant.
And now she gets to be on the show and nothing?
It's disappointing.
Speaking of disappointing, huge Impact star KM. Well, I'll let him bury himself. You lost to the hot dog today.
I know.
How did you lose to the hot dog?
I booked it. Send the fans home happy. Because it doesn't matter, Colt.
Oh my God.
It's a hot dog. It's a fucking hot dog.
Fucking loser.
What about the hot dog eating a hot dog before? You guys that one?
Cannibalism?
Well, yeah, literally, while he was in the hot dog, I mean, he was walking by eating a hot dog. I mean,
Even though he lost to a hot dog, I still can't hate Kevin Mathews. I wish I watched Impact. Like, can someone tell me if he's doing good? I assume he's doing all right. Wrestled Scott Steiner. Let me know if Kevin's doing okay on Impact Wrestling. I should be watching, but I don't. Is that bad? Sorry. Someone tweet me a GIF of him doing something that I'm into. I appreciate it. That's it. We left the show. We were done. Pat Buck, who runs the joint, I caught up with him. I didn't catch up with him. We rode back to his apartment together. But I wanted to talk about how the show went.
That was a good show. I mean, it's like low press. Some of these events I'm a train wreck for where you don't really know what to expect. This one we kind of have down to a science. Like, we know how to budget it out. We know how much we promoted. So, I mean, it's a win to... Of course, it could always be more crowded, this one. So I figured maybe it was like 350 tonight. It would have been cool at 500, but...
It's always a win when Joel Gertner just shows up and sits in the locker room, right?
Did he say anything? I mean, he just kind of... Well, I felt bad because he came in and, like, Lauren's like, hey, are you buying or picking up tickets? I'm like, you let him in. It's cool. And I was like, hey, man, just go to the back. Hang out. It's fine. It's cool. But,
These shows are fun, these New York shows.
yeah, I mean, the guys get experience. It's kind of the whole thing with the school. Like, some schools, keep you there. And mine's kind of, at least there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Like, you work hard enough. Pretty much any guy who came and helped with ring crew tonight had a spot in the show. Even the opening match is, it's not the most awe-inspiring six-man tag, but they get to have, 7 minutes in front of a crowd of 350, and then we go back and watch it on Monday and Wednesday and pick it apart. And what's kind of cool is it was all guys less than like 4 months in, and it was still passable and decent enough where they got like a good reaction.
Let's not just say all your shows are guys are rookies. I mean, me, Teddy Hart, Moff. There's a handful.
No, I didn't mean that. It's a conglomerate. It's I've always been a fan of the smorgasbord, bringing in the veterans. Such.
Did you say that right?
I think so. It's a combination.
Smorgasbord or
Isn't it B-O?
Whoa.
No, am I wrong?
Am I wrong?
I don't know. This is like that game you were playing when I was like, it's Chameleon, not Chamalot.
I thought it was Chamalot, but I knew I was wrong. Smorgasbord or smorgasbord?
I thought board. It's like a spread. Fuck.
Well, I don't know. We'll get the tweets tomorrow, I guess. You can stick around to the very end of the show and hear my reaction to figuring out what the answer to that question was. Oh boy. I do love how Pat was just casually talking about running shows. I think about that a lot. This isn't a humble brag, but I've done so many shows over the years, and you want to be like, this one's the most important show. And then the next one, you're like, this one's the most important show. But when you do 3,000 or 4,000 shows or whatever it might be at this point, I haven't really counted, it becomes less about one specific show and more about just like the idea of running shows, putting them together. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just let it be a thing and we'll move on to the next day, I guess. As long as it's profitable or you learn something or it doesn't kill you, I guess. I think that's the most important thing. And I mean, obviously making sure the fans are happy, but that's part of the process of putting on a show. You want to be able to realize how to put on a show that's cost affordable, that makes the fans happy, that makes the fans want to come back the next time. That's just like a fun night of wrestling. That's all I want. That's all anyone should really want, a fun night of wrestling. And that's exactly what I felt that show was in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, New York. Come see a fun night of wrestling. The next day, we went to Rahway, New Jersey, and there was a training seminar. It was myself, Dr. Tom, Rip Rogers, and Pat Buck. It was a 2-day seminar. I only did the 1 day. To be fair, I didn't even know it was a 2-day seminar. The flight was bought, and then I realized it was a 2-day seminar. So it was a 1-day seminar for me. I'm very wishy-washy on these seminars. I think they're amazing for people, but I feel bad. I mean, it wasn't too expensive, but I just assume as a young trainee that nobody has money, that they're always broke. Like, it's what I was. I assume everyone is. So it's hard to ask people to pay, but at the same time, like, what a world of knowledge just for such a cheap rate if you're a wrestler and you're trying to learn or trying to get better. I usually in my speech say that, you know, you're not going to become a global superstar by taking one of these seminars. It's just the idea that you've come, you want to better yourself, and that mental attitude will help you in the future. Everyone has their own little speeches in the beginning of a training seminar. And with his permission, I filmed a little bit of Dr. Tom speaking to the kids. I thought this would be cool for you guys to hear.
So, and I also believe this. The number one thing you should do is have fun. Train hard, work hard, but this has to be fun. If you don't enjoy this, it's going to be drudgery, it's going to suck, you're going to get hurt. So you need to enjoy what you're doing. And just by the fact, I say this at pretty much every seminar camp I go to, just by the fact that you guys are here and want to do this, tells me you're all fucked up and crazy. Seriously. What normal person wants to go in the ring, do what we do, bump, and enjoy it? Well, us. So we've been doing this our whole life. We still have a passion for it. You guys don't have the opportunity to see the same kind of wrestling we grew up with, and that's okay. You can't choose when you're born. You can't choose the time you come into this world and see things. That's okay. But the premise is still the same. The basics and fundamentals never get old. Never. And they don't change. It's still in a ring. You're still going to have to lock up. You're still going to have to know how to walk. You're still going to have to know how to feel that emotion and get people to feel what you feel.
That was a little beyond the mat inside our world. I think that's the fun part of this podcast. That's the fun part of the Wrestling Road Diaries. And then I guess in return, what this is going to kind of be, the audio Wrestling Road Diaries, is to see that part of our world. And Dr. Tom and I, we partnered up. Pat Buck and Rip Rogers partnered up. And then I caught up with Dr. Tom afterwards to just to check in.
Outstanding. Yeah, I thought it was a very cool time. We had in the ring where we had Pat, Buck, and Rip in the other ring. Yeah, I thought we had a very good crew, man.
Now, who was the best partner? Me or Jimmy Del Rey? Or touchy subject?
Oh, no, it's not. Well, I got to say, Jimmy had his moments, but you definitely have your moments. So I since you're still here, I'll say you.
Thank you very much. And you were saying you were hurting a little bit.
Brother, I got to tell you, man, my neck, my shoulder, yeah, I'm hurting a little bit. But at the same time, I always like coming to see camps like this because you see people that really love the business and really enjoy it. And you see the young guys, especially.
And girls.
And girls, yeah, young guys and girls. 2 girls in this camp, man, who really want it. So I love seeing that. I love being around it. It's infectious.
I guess I have a question. You pointed out the 2 girls, and you're like, why are you doing this? And I get what you're trying to see. What I think you were trying to see their answers. And I do notice, and even when I say, you said the guys came out and I said the girls, is, hey, we need more girls out here. We definitely need more girls. The more the merrier. There should be more. And whenever I come to and do these things, there aren't that many.
Right.
I guess, what was your brain wave when you asked?
Because I always want to hear what it is when a female wants to get in this business. If it's for serious because they love it, more power to them. Both these ladies seem to be like they love it. I just want to hear the answer. I want to hear why they're here, because it's not an easy road for them. In fact, it's a real treacherous road for them. You think we're bad. In that locker room, whatever women's locker room they are, the women can be vicious. And that's why I was just curious. I was just curious why wanting to be wrestlers in this climate with these, like I said, these big, hairy, smelly guys. So, yeah, that's what I was wondering.
You doing okay?
I'm doing great. I couldn't be better.
You look great.
I feel great. No, actually, we just got done talking about I don't feel so great. No, but I do feel great, man. I mean, I was honest to God. People can complain and bitch all they want, but we have it all, man. We really do. We get a chance to visit with people. We get a chance to train people. We still get a chance to do what we love. And Rip and I talk about this on a pretty regular basis. We are fortunate enough to still be able to travel and meet people and do stuff like this. So, yeah, man, I really have no complaints.
Good to see you.
Hey, good to be seen, and good to see you as well, man. Support independent wrestling is what I say. And also, I want
to... Are you only saying that because it's on my T-shirt?
No, I would never say that because it's on your T-shirt. But I would say this, man, that the Pro Wrestling Tees is where I get all my shirts at. And if anybody wants to order one of my shirts, it's either on mine or Bruce's list or site, whatever it is, I will personally call them and thank them. I have 2 left right now to call.
Hell of a plug.
Yep, there you go.
You know who else has a Pro Wrestling Tees store? Well, besides everybody and myself, Colt Cabana, Rip Rogers. And if you haven't listened to the Rip Rogers episode that we did outside of his house because his wife wouldn't let me inside of his house as I was passing through, I believe on the way to Louisville, Kentucky. He was in Indianapolis at the time. You should. Go listen to the archives. Rip Rogers is a gem in the world of professional wrestling, and I threw the recorder in front of him just to hear what he had to say.
Since the last time we podcast, you have teeth now.
I got fucking teeth. I got a above average fucking penis. You know, it's pretty thick, not much in length, but I give her. I can go 30 seconds of hell with anybody.
I don't know if I asked that, but you just said
6 to 60, blind, crippled, or crazy, male, female, whatever.
You'll take whatever.
I don't give a shit. At 64, what the fuck, right?
Okay, I heard I heard you have a theory about airplane travel. You don't bring any luggage.
No, I don't ever bring any fucking airplane luggage. I bring my goddamn fanny pack. I got a fucking razor blade in here to fucking shave. I'll fucking borrow somebody. They always get the fucking free T-shirt gimmick.
Which you're wearing right now.
Fuck, I got probably XX small to make myself look above average. No, I don't, because every time I go on a goddamn airplane, either the fucking airplanes the flight's fucking canceled, it leaves fucking late, or there's some son of a bitch. And anytime I have a fucking bag, they would lose a son of a bitch. So fuck them. No more. No matter where I fucking go, it's one pair of pants, one pair of fucking undies. It's the fucking sponsor's job to get me the fucking kayfabe T-shirt, the go to hell fucking hat, and extra fucking undies if need be. But usually I'm fucking underwearless anyway to give it that illusion of length going down that big
God. Oh my God.
Not bad, huh? Hey, when you're 64, what the fuck, right?
It's great.
I'm still fucking kicking.
You're still doing it. It's great to see.
I'm still fucking kicking, fucking Colt, and you're over and I'm not. What the fuck, right? I just wish I was 38.
One day.
Been there, done that. Oh shit, I was 38. What was I doing? Let's see, 38, 54. Hey, goddamn! Hey, shut up, Tom. Dr. Tom Pritchard talking about. Are we still on the air?
Yeah, we can finish whenever you want.
Shit. Did he say anything about them young boys?
Hookers like Luthez.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh okay. Yeah, Strangler Lewis. Luthez. I got you all that shit. Yeah. Gama Singh and shit like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
I don't know if you caught that last part, but that's the fun part of this world of wrestling. I mean, Dr. Tom and Rip Rogers still goofing off like they're 15-year-olds, and that gives me hope, I think. Just had a birthday, 38 years old, and I hope at, 50, 60, 70, I'm still just a silly little goofball having fun with my friends. Peter Pan, never wanting to grow up. That sounds like a nice life. I'll take it. I wonder what my mom thinks of Rip Rogers. Maybe you at home wants to know what my mom thinks of Rip Rogers. I can tell you one thing. Someone wanted to know what she thought of this one clip from CMLL with a little person getting booted off an apron, and I'll get to that. She'll tell you all about it in just a second. Before we do that, though, let's get to some plugs and
upcoming events.
The best way that you can support ColtMerch.com, digitalcolt.com, Twitter and Instagram at Colt Cabana, Facebook /AOW Podcast, also /Colt Cabana, my storytelling podcast, Pro Wrestling Fringe, plus past archives of this show. They are ad-free on StitcherPremium.com/Colt. Use the code COLT, get a free month. ColtWrestling@gmail.com is my very public email. Maybe you're a promoter, want to put me on your upcoming show or convention. Maybe you want to be documented in this very show. YouTube, I got a YouTube channel. ColtCabana.com is my website. You can find my P.O. box there. Send me something fun. Upcoming May 11th, 12th, and 13th, Toronto, Detroit, Chicagoland, doing commentary for ROHWrestling.com. Saturday, May 19th, Nashville, Tennessee, Facebook /OverdriveProTN. Sunday, May 20th, Chicago, Illinois, ZelloPro.com. Friday, May 25th, Marionette, Illinois, AAWrestling.com. Friday, June 1st, Tulsa, Oklahoma, CompoundWrestling.com. Saturday, June 2nd, New York City, doing commentary at ROHWrestling.com. Friday, June 8th, Rahway, New Jersey, WrestleProOnline.com. Saturday, June 9th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, ChikaraPro.com. Intro music by the Ukulele Teacher on YouTube. Outro music by Superfun Yeah Yeah Rocket Ship. Podcast cover art design by Jimmy Lee. Photo by James Musselwhite. Huge thanks to Teddy Hart, Kevin Mathews, Pat Buck, Joel Gertner, Dr. Tom Pritchard, Craig Steele, Rip Rogers, and Hot Dog Starks for being a part of the show this week. Thanks to our sponsors, highspots.com, a VOD service that's amazing. Marty and I did a Talking Dogs and Poppin' Something. You can also see PWG's and Kevin Steen's show. Also, they have AMA knee pads, gear, mask, even a wrestling ring. How about OneHourTees.com? They help run ProWrestlingTees.com. They also do ProWrestlingCrate.com. That's the place where you can directly support your favorite independent wrestler. And now we go to the hashtag AskCabanaMom. Just tweet me at Colt Cabana. Use the hashtag AskCabanaMom. And ask my mother, 70-year-old something Marsha Cabana, something about the world of professional wrestling. She'll give her opinion. She doesn't know much about wrestling. You're going to have to show her a video or a picture or something. Make it smart, make it creative. This week at @IAM_Will Young says, I've seen you in at Brendan Burns in Edinburgh the last 2 years. Please get your mom to watch the clip you do at the end of the show. Spoiler alert, Will Young. Yes, we do this one clip at the end of the show. Yes, we are coming back this year at the Monkey Barrel, the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, every single night at 11 p.m. Get your tickets on edfringe.com. Search for Colt Cabana. And I know you're talking about the clip where the little neon monkey little guy gets kicked off the apron. If you haven't seen this, you've got to have seen this. I mean, go to YouTube right now and just Google that. Watch that. And then here's my mom with her thoughts on the clip after Will Young made her watch it.
Hello, it's Mama Cabana from her studio apartment. And I'm back in Chicago, Illinois, after a long 4 months in Scottsdale, Arizona. I am a teacher, a wife, a good friend to many, but most important, I am the professional mom of Colt Cabana. I did watch the video, and at first I thought, a lot of monkey business going on here. But I also thought, could it be Curious George coming to life? Or was it a Cabbage Patch doll dressed in a monkey suit? Wasn't quite sure. Seeing that they were speaking Spanish, I had a hard time understanding what the match was all about. First, I really thought it was a puppet, but when I saw the monkey walking, I figured it was a real person. But the way they treated that poor guy, I really kind of felt sorry for him. He kind of just flopped out of the ring. But then one of the wrestlers did lean over, and I assume he asked him if it was okay, if he was okay, and he did nod yes, and that's when I figured either they had a remote to make him work or it was a real person in there. I didn't like the whole idea, to be perfectly honest with you. I think it was a little rough on the little guy. But if that's the style of Mexican wrestling, so be it. So those are my thoughts on the video. Until next week, it's Mama Cabana, and thanks.
You nailed it, Ma. All right, this has been the Art of Wrestling for Colt Cabana. I'm Colt Cabana. Thanks.
We just looked it up, and I'm 38 years old now as when this comes out, and I just learned that it's not smorgasbord.
I'm the smartest man in the world.
Damn it.